Women's soccer falls short at A10s, but goes dancing anyway. Hello, I'm Brendan Rigney.
And I'm Jake Smolinski, and you're watching LaSalle TV's home for Explorer Athletics, SportsLine.
Welcome, welcome. We've got a great show for you today. As Anna Gomez joins us later to talk awards and recognition, and later still, Audrey Brush joins us again to get you ready for some LaSalle sports action in the marquee matchup.
That's right, Brendan. But first, let's catch up on what went down this past week for the fall athletes. LaSalle women's soccer will return to the 2014 NCAA tournament to play Rutgers University on Friday, November 14th. This marks the fourth consecutive year the Explorers have qualified for the tournament after reaching the Atlantic 10 championship game. The Blue and Gold started things off last Thursday in the A10 tournament against the University of Massachusetts as the top seed. Mariam Husseini scored her first goal of the season to give LaSalle the early 1-0 lead. After second half adjustments, the Blue and Gold took control with a second goal from Jessica Kagan in the 73rd minute and a third one from Fia Johnson. Goalkeeper Jessica Wiggins recorded her 8th shutout of the season, standing strong in the net with 4 saves.
George Washington came out firing in the semifinal match against the Explorers. LaSalle fell behind 1-0 to the Colonials in the first half, but turned things around to tie the game in the 50th minute. Kelsey Haycock booted the tying goal to mark her 19th of the season. Regulation came and went as the two teams were neck and neck. It took 13 minutes into overtime before the match ended. Freshman Kristen Hogstad found the back of the net off of an assist from Jessica Kagan to send the Explorers to the A10 championship game against Dayton.
And with just one day to rest up after 2 games in as many days, the Explorers competed in their 3rd straight A10 championship. Unfortunately, the Blue and Gold streak ended at the helm of the Dayton Flyers. Haycock scored her 20th goal of the season 3 minutes into the match with a perfect header off a free kick from redshirt freshman Paige McDowell. And coming out of the half, Dayton caught the Explorers flat-footed and scored twice in the final 25 minutes of the match. The Flyers held off the Explorers and took home the championship trophy.
On Friday, November 7th, the men's soccer team battled the Dayton Flyers in a heated A10 conference throwdown. With the season dwindling down, the need for a victory was pivotal. Playing with this in mind, only 1 goal was scored in this entire match. Luckily for the Explorers, that goal came from sophomore Matt Robinson towards the end of the first half. LaSalle goalkeeper Mike Kirk stayed strong again in the net, not allowing any of Dayton's 16 shots to get by. The game marked Kirk's 6th shutout on the 2014 campaign. Now, after resting up on Saturday, the men retook the field for their last game at McCarthy Stadium this season. Jake brings us more from Senior Day. Let's take a gander.
Coming off an incredible win against Dayton the Friday before LaSalle was scheduled to play against George Mason, the stage was set for the Explorers to make it or break it. If they were able to hold George Mason to a draw or win the game, LaSalle would be able to move on into the A10 playoffs. So on a beautiful fall day at McCarthy Stadium, the stage was set for the Explorers to stay alive. And LaSalle made quick moves right from the tip-off with a goal in the 11th minute. Joe Farrell placed a tight pass directly off the foot of freshman Greg Henry as he poked it past the goalie for the score. And following this early goal, this led to a Patriot scramble for an answer. And the answer came in the 31st minute as GMU slipped a goal past Mike Kirk for the equalizer. With the score tied at 1 early in the game, the tension grew as a stalemate took hold. George Mason took straight to the offensive front with a rush of 17 shots on goal, and goalie Mike Kirk fought back, playing a perfect game after that stray goal as he made 5 impressive saves. LaSalle's defense had to continuously hold off the GMU corner kick attack too, and at points it looked like the Explorers were going to get overrun, but Kirk managed to truly step up as one of the leaders on the team. However, LaSalle's offensive end couldn't push past the Patriots' scattered defense. Most of the action was kept around midfield, and the team started to get frustrated. The match got physical as the game went into overtime, then double overtime as the fouls amassed to 9 for the Patriots and 11 for the Explorers. But as the clock started to run out, it was clear that no one was going to be able to score within the time limit. So when the buzzer hit 0 after 110 minutes of play, LaSalle secured a definite spot in the playoffs with a gritty draw of 1-1 against George Mason. On Friday, November 7th, the women's volleyball team played host to the visiting Duquesne Dukes at Tom Gola Arena. Following a loss to Rhode Island, LaSalle hoped to get back into the win column against the solid Duquesne team. Here's Anna Gomez with the coverage.
On Friday, November 7th, the women's volleyball team took to Tom Gola Arena. The Explorers were set to verse one of the frontrunners in the Atlantic 10 Conference, Duquesne. Previously, the Explorers lost to the Dukes 3-0 last month in Pittsburgh, but as the last home game of the season, the women were eyeing a victory at the Gola. The first set saw an early lead for the Dukes, leaving the Explorers to trail 9 points behind. With the score 19-10 favoring Duquesne, Coach Rimgala called a timeout. When the blue and gold returned onto the court, they fought back at the Dukes, closing the gap 23-21. However, the blue and gold could not cinch this set, and Duquesne claimed the last 2 points of the set, 25-21. By the first couple of minutes in the second set, the Explorers were going to be adversaries for the Dukes, with a stalemate descending upon the court. However, Duquesne soon broke out and ended the set 25-11. Hoping to make a comeback, the Explorers again kept up with Duquesne in the beginning of the third set. After their opponent made repeated attack errors, LaSalle had an opportunity to make a move, but the Dukes would regain their momentum, closing out the third and final set 25-17. As the team prepares to close out the season this weekend, a few players need to be highlighted from this game. Juniors Kelly Perillo and Laura Kohlmeyer contributed 7 kills each. Junior Michelle Healy also turned out a strong performance with her 23 assists. Sophomore left side hitter Erin Noga paced the Explorers with 18 digs throughout the game, as well as 2 back-to-back aces. The Explorers are on the road for their final 2 games, first to Dayton, then to St. Louis this weekend. For SportsLine, I'm Anna Gomez. Back to you.
The LaSalle men and women's rowing teams competed at the Frostbite Regatta on Mercer Lake in Princeton, New Jersey. LaSalle's rowing program took home 2 silver medals to finish out their fall season. Leading the way were the men's Novice 8 and Novice 4 boats. The Novice 8 finished with a time of 6 minutes and 29.73 seconds. The Novice 4 boat clocked in at 7 minutes and 24.78 seconds. The Varsity 8 also came in together in their meet, finishing with a time of 6 minutes and 42.97 seconds, which placed them in 3rd place at the event. The last boat for the Explorers was entered in the JV 8 race and finished 6th with a time of 7 minutes and 24.65 seconds.
And onto the lady rowers. The Novice 4 was the only women's boat in action at the Frostbite Regatta for the Explorers. The 4 boat finished 4th with a time of 9 minutes and 36.33 seconds. Their time was good enough for a 4th place, coming ahead of Philly U and Loyola. The winning boat finished 40 seconds ahead of the blue and gold.
How about we stay in the water? The men's swimming and dive team kept their undefeated streak alive by sweeping a tri-meet against Delaware and Ryder. Freshman Fabian Bergman put on a show by sealing the victory in 3 different events, the 100 and 200-yard backstroke, along with the 200-yard individual medley. Another rookie headline for the Explorers, Dmitry Mladenovich, finished 1st in both the 100 and 200-yard breaststroke. The strong outing by the freshman class continued with Jacob Bartoswick winning this 200-yard butterfly. Sophomore Matthias Glanesk also contributed by placing 1st in the 1,000-yard freestyle. The Explorers outscored the Delaware Blue Hens by 78 and Ryder by 60.
And the women's team headed out to the University of Delaware for the same tri-meet. Once again, they split success, beating their Ryder with a score of 228-69 and losing to Delaware 206-93. Junior Kelsey Jenkinson continued her streak, clinching a win in the 100 and 200-yard breaststroke. Then, Jenkinson joined the 200-yard medley relay team to place 2nd with a time of 1 minute and 48.86 seconds. Senior Sarah Finn also had a solid day, taking 2nd in the 200-yard freestyle with a time of 53.20, while snagging 2nd with the 400-yard freestyle relay team.
Moving to the Gola Arena, the men's basketball team took the court for the first time in an exhibition game against neighboring Philadelphia University. The Explorers got ahead early thanks to the help of Steve Zach, who totaled 5 defensive rebounds despite getting into foul trouble early. However, Zach was more than a defensive threat. The big guy found open spaces and was even able to convert on offense as he drained a shot from behind the arc, something we don't see too often. Fellow senior Jarrell Wright, the other big man, complimented Zach with 5 rebounds. With help from transfer Jordan Price, the Wright stuff demolished a dunk for 2 of his 4 points. Quick converting was the key for the Explorers this time around, as the Explorers scored 12 points off fast breaks and 12 off turnovers, with Amar Stukes finishing with 10 points. You know, Coach G has been quoted as saying the team isn't going to be much of a threat from beyond the arc, but DJ Peterson defied the odds and drained 2 of his own. The Explorers dominated Philly U, a potent D2 team by a score of 79-61. Price had 16 points and 5 assists. Cleon Roberts added 9 of his own. Well, homecoming's right around the corner, and we brought in a member of the men's basketball team who plays a significant but atypical role. Here's Tommy McIntyre with the scoop.
Hi, I'm Tommy McIntyre, and this is On the Sidelines. I'm joined by Jack DiMatteo, LaSalle men's basketball manager. I want to thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Basically, the season last year was a bit of a downer, I would say. I mean, I guess coming off a Sweet 16 run, people had high expectations, maybe too much, people maybe say. Basically going in this year, though, maybe new expectations?
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely, I came in last year as a freshman, and there was a lot of excitement here coming off the Sweet 16, and we were returning pretty much everybody besides Ramon Galloway, so we definitely had high expectations for ourselves. Of course, things didn't go as we hoped for. We finished 15-16 overall, but really since the night we lost in the A-10 playoffs and our season was over, we've just really worked super hard to get ready for this season. I know like the experts aren't really picking us to do much, but we feel that with the work we've put in all off season to get ready for now, we could definitely surprise people and do well in conference play. So we're definitely excited for the season to begin.
And we saw the first game against Philly U, a little preseason opener, as you would say. What did you see there? What do you think was the positives out of that game and going into the homecoming game?
Yeah, it was really exciting. I mean, you go at each other in practice every day, and it's a great experience and makes you better, but you just want to play a team in another uniform at some point. So it was great to be able to do that, to have our fans there, and I thought we played really well. We shared the ball well. Some of the new guys, like our transfers, guys who redshirted last year, guys who didn't play as much last year, they seemed to mesh well with Steve and Jarrell, DJ, the guys who are coming back. Obviously Jordan scored a lot, and I think him and Steve find each other well. Rebounding-wise, we weren't as good as we hoped for, which hopefully we can improve going into Saturday. But it definitely makes us optimistic that our group can play together and hopefully get some more good results like that.
So you're a manager. What does that entail to be a basketball manager?
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends kind of who you are, what program you're in. For us, our managers kind of have a lot of different roles depending on the day, depending on what's going on. In practice, getting set up beforehand, making sure everything's ready to go, rebounding for players before practice begins, and then throughout drills, just kind of helping out wherever Coach G or any of the assistant coaches need us. Game day, just making sure people have waters, towels, pretty much just kind of making sure all the operations run as smoothly as possible. A lot of people just say that we're doing our jobs as long as we're not noticed, not trying to make any mistakes or anything. But definitely Coach G and the players do a great job of making sure all the managers feel appreciated and like they're a part of the team.
So getting a little personal, you come from Illinois. You said a little north of Chicago.
That's right.
How do you end up here in LaSalle in Philadelphia?
Yeah, actually, I played high school basketball at Deerfield, and the varsity assistant coach at my high school played college ball with Coach G back in Illinois at North Central College. And so when I started looking at colleges, Coach Kessler, who was my assistant coach, was reaching out to people. He talked to Coach G. I came out here to visit the school, and I really liked it. And as the process went on, more and more I felt like this was the place for me to be. And since I've been here now into my sophomore year, I'm definitely glad I made the decision.
And, I mean, obviously your schedule's busy with basketball, but do you have any other hobbies? You said you're a poli-sci major. What are some of the other things you do around campus?
Yeah, political science major, an econ minor. And between those two and basketball, it definitely takes up a lot of time. But, I mean, just trying to relax when I can, definitely get to a lot of other sporting events, trying to watch the girls' soccer team tomorrow. Or, against Rutgers.
Oh, you're going to take the bus?
Yeah, try to get down there for that. But in terms of, like, what we do basketball, even outside of practice and games, we're together a lot. We have a team Bible study, do a lot of stuff together that and it's really like a family atmosphere around here that really is special to me and to our guys, I think.
Basically, a little bit more about Steve. You like music? You like anything else? Give me some of your personal favorites. What are you playing on your playlist right now?
I mean, I kind of go through a lot of phases. The guys on our team gave me a hard time last year because I listened to country music, but I'm back on like a rap phase right now.
Yeah, that's definitely what you hear when you go to the game. So you had to kind of like, you can't be playing that country stuff.
Exactly. But I like a bunch of Chicago rappers, Kanye West, Chance the
Chance the
Rapper.
Rapper, yes, I know
Vic
who that is.
Mensa.
Yes.
I listen to Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
So,
Got a
you
good
know,
list.
Yeah.
They should
try
put
to
that on
do
the playlist. I'm hearing they got a little like Bobby Schmurder on there.
Yeah.
But you can always put a little Vic Mensa in there. Why
I've
not?
been calling for it for a long time,
Yeah, why
but
not?
nobody cares about it.
I do love that's the little underground rap scene. If you
That's
haven't known
right.
Vic Mensa,
That's
you gotta
right.
look him up. Childish Gambino, not really underground, but he's good. Yeah, that's a good list of rappers right there. So a little something else we do here is ask what's your favorite Disney movie? I mean, it's a little thing we like to do here. I know it's a little off the wall, but
No worries. It's an easy choice for me. Finding Nemo.
oh, fine.
Always been my favorite. Dory's motto, just keep swimming. Life motto for me.
That's a good motto. But I think that's going to do it here for exploring headlines, or not exploring headlines, on the sidelines, pardon me. Another segment on SportsLine. I want to thank Jack DiMatteo for coming out and helping us out today. And I'm Tom McIntyre, and signing off. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Tommy. Jake, are you excited for homecoming? Because I sure am, that's for sure.
All I know is that at 3 o'clock on Saturday, I'm going to be loud and proud, LaSalle colors all the way. It's going to be fantastic.
Jake, do you bleed blue and gold, Jake?
I bleed blue and gold.
That's
I mean,
really
that's
coincidental. I mean, I feel like that's something you need to get checked out. But
Well,
let's
yeah.
talk about this game against Colgate. How do you think they're going to match up against Colgate, Jake?
I think that from an undisclosed source, I heard that we are going to match up very, very nice against Colgate. Jack DiMatteo, thank you he was just on the show. But honestly, like the height that we have on our team this year, incredible. You have Steve Zach clocking at like 6'11". You have Cleon straight up like 6'10". I don't know. We're gonna match up really nice.
It's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for a quick break, but stick around. Ana Gomez will be popping in for some exploring headlines. Hands off that remote.
In many forms and can happen 24/7. If you or someone you know is a victim of cyberbullying, take preventative and assertive action. Keep evidence and document all instances. Remember to record dates, times, descriptions, and also save and print screenshots. Block your cyberbully and present your evidence to school officials or law enforcement. No one deserves to be a victim of cyberbullying, and together we can end it. For more information, visit stopbullying.com.
Hey guys,
No, we
it's Nate
changed
from
it because of
LaSalle's
what
very
happened.
own TV show Q&A. I'm here on North Campus asking random students trivia questions. Let's see how well they do today. Which rainforest produces 1/5 of the world's oxygen?
I believe it to be the Amazon rainforest.
And that is correct. Name the 7th planet from the sun.
Uranus.
That is correct. What is the capital of Spain?
Is it Barcelona?
It's actually Madrid.
Uh-oh.
Only one sex of the mosquito bites. Is it the male or the female?
It's the female.
That's right. Which chess piece can only move diagonally?
The bishop.
That's correct. The Dewey Decimal System is used to categorize what?
Books.
That is correct. Be sure to check us out on social media and watch new episodes of LaSalle's favorite TV game show, Q&A, Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m., only on LaSalle TV and YouTube. And remember to never stop exploring.
I didn't think this could happen to me.
I just wanted to feel pretty.
I just put my drink down for a second.
I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to fight back.
Welcome back. Here to join us now for this week's Exploring Headlines, please welcome Ana Gomez.
Just prior to the beginning of the A10 tournament, the women's soccer team garnered a trio of individual conference awards. Shocking no one, senior Kelsey Haycock was named the A10 Offensive Player of the Year, thanks to her 18 goals and 39 points during the regular season. On the other side, redshirt senior Carrie Aiken was named the Defensive Player of the Year for her role in a defense that forced 7 shutouts and allowed only 3 goals in the conference play. Lastly, The A10 named Paul Royal Coach of the Year for the third consecutive season. Moving along to the post-tournament season, LaSalle is scheduled to play Rutgers in the NCAA tournament on Friday, November 14th. Ranked 25th, the Explorers will face their Big Ten counterparts for the first time in 13 years. Rutgers has a 7-0-1 record against LaSalle. Men's soccer isn't without their fair share of honors, though. Junior Joe Farrell was named the All-Conference second team after earning 16 points this season with his 6 goals and 4 assists. Also earning recognition was senior Tom Baker and sophomore Matt Robinson, who earned spots on the all-academic squad for their success in the classroom. After a year that showcased the field hockey team's tenacity and grit, 5 A10 honors were given to 4 Explorers. Taking 2 honors for herself, senior Colleen Kempf was named the All-Conference second team as well as the All-Academic All-Conference honor roll. Also on the second team, sophomore Devin Morocco, who gains the recognition for the second straight year. 2 Explorer rookies were also honored. Kendall Cryer and Eileen Zuo were added to the A10 All-Rookie team. Attention soldiers and veterans, bring proper identification to the Heyman Center and you will be honored with free entrance into the coveted homecoming game against Colgate. Wounded Warriors will be honorary coaches during the game and all vets will be recognized during a media timeout. Just in time for the home opener, a new face has been added to the men's basketball coaching staff. Dr. Gianni has added Andrew McGlynn as the team's video coordinator. The Towson graduate joins the Explorers after working for 2 years at Detroit Mercy.
Well, thank you for joining us, Anna. We appreciate you coming on, that's for damn sure. Now that we've covered the past, let's look to the future. Audrey Brush brings us this week's marquee matchup. Take it away, Audrey.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Marquee Matchup. I'm Audrey Brush, and I will be giving you the scoop on the LaSalle Cross Country team's upcoming meet at Penn State. The runners will be competing in the Mid-Atlantic 10s this Friday. The men and women's team are looking to have qualifiers for the NCAA championship in a few weeks. The Explorers have had some success at regionals in the past. Last year, the women's team placed 12th while the men finished 6th overall in the 26-team field last year. The cross-country coach staff is looking to keep their momentum up and is putting faith in some top runners. Let's see who will lead our Explorers. Nico Greco and Brady Hewler. Nico Greco, senior, won the Atlantic 10 championship last year. Then in the Mid-Atlantic Regional, he ran a 30-minute and 26-second 10K. This season, he paced LaSalle in the Atlantic 10 championship, coming in with a 6th-place finish. The veteran runner is focused and not bothered by the excitement surrounding regionals and is looking to finish out his final season strong. Also leading the Explorers is Bradley Hewer. The sophomore finished after Nico Greco in the Atlantic 10 championships with a time of 25 minutes and 38 seconds, good enough for 35th place. The underclassman ran the 8K at the Paul Short run in 25:26, so clearly he is peaking at the right time. Rookie Morgan Skeely is dominating the courses. The freshman won at the Atlantic 10 championship last week and is the only 3rd woman in LaSalle's history to win the conference event. Zekely is the 2nd freshman in history to win at A10s. She will set the pace for the Explorers. She has high hopes for nationals and is on her way to becoming one of LaSalle's best runners. Following, freshman Megan O'Connell will also be trusted to lead the Explorers. The rookie was the 2nd Explorer to cross the line at the A10's finish with a time of 18 minutes and 18 seconds. Connell has been solid all year, finishing amongst the top 10 3 Explorers in each race. Hopefully, the attention and hype surrounding the event does not intimidate her as she looks to keep up with Zekely. Now that we have touched on some key players, let's take a look at what men and women have to do in order to qualify in the NCAA championship. For the men, it is important for them to stick together. Running in a pack has been working for them throughout the season. However, the pacer needs to take the role seriously. The men have struggled this year, but most of them finish in clusters. If the pacer challenges the pack and communicates with his team while on the course, success will follow. The women's team has experienced great success this season, so to capitalize at regionals, they need to stay focused and strong. The team hasn't done a high-tempo workout this week in order to stay fresh. They've been cruising along in practice, and hopefully the relaxation doesn't bleed into their performances at regionals. Well, that does it for this week's Marquee Matchup. I'm Audrey Brush, and go Explorers.
Well, that just about wraps it up for us this week. So, who are you going to miss the most after the fall season, Jake?
You know, a player has found a special place in my heart this past season, and after covering way too many games this season, Kelsey Haycock, God bless you. Seriously, the last time I checked, she was 17th in the nation as a player, like all around, all the college stuff. She had 20 goals this season. She's consistently always put up a point. It was like, I don't even know. I'm going to miss her so terribly. And same with especially Carrie Aiken as well, defense on point. Did you ever get to make a chance, like, or make it out to? I don't even know how that just came out of the mouth. But did you ever get a chance to actually go check out any of her games?
Oh, the women's soccer?
Yeah.
Yes, they were intense.
Yes.
The defense was like an iron curtain.
I know.
Going back to Haycock, though, she also is 11 times Player of the Week, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
She's also was, I'm not sure if you mentioned, Offensive Player of the Year for the A10, which is fantastic. And she actually owns the record for the programs for, I think it's points and goals scored.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be missed, though, especially going to next season.
Who are we going to talk about next year? I don't even know.
I don't know. But, I don't know. There's definitely some high hopes, though, coming up for
of course. There's always some high hopes. Yeah. So, if you can't make it out to see the marquee matchup, make sure to tune in next week for our coverage. Be sure to keep up with this weekend's other sporting events by following us on Twitter at SportsLine LTV. We post game updates and sneak peeks into the upcoming show.
Also, check us out on Facebook.com or Facebook at facebook.com/LaSalleTV. We welcome you to send us your thoughts and suggestions about the show on either website.
The entire SportsLine team, I'm Brendan Rigney. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you at the game.